Hello perfect family and welcome back to the channel. Hit that subscribe button please. Do it now! We're with Sharpie and Shaleepa at the medical center getting her nose shaved down. Sharpie is scared to death. He's trying to calm himself with his little rubber bands, but all he really wants is to be in the operating room with Shekinah. 3 long hours pass. No, it was 180 minutes. And pretty little Shaleepa is wheeled out. Sarper is gently trying to wake her up.
You remember me? Who am I?
Sarper keeps trying to talk to her. I know he's like super happy to be with her again, but waking up from surgery like that, oh my god, you're so out of it, you're in so much pain, and she's like struggling to speak to him, and he's like, dang, this is gonna take a lot of work, isn't it?
She is vulnerable. She like homeless. You know that? I mean,
my silicone queen looks homeless, but I will be the best nurse. Look at me feeding her juice. And now it is time to stand up and walk Shekinah.
Sarper's doing so amazing so far with taking care of me.
I've heard that it takes a full year for your nose to fully heal from a nose job, which would definitely deter me because if you're gonna look all swollen and ugly for a year, But Shekinah started posting pictures of her new nose pretty quickly, and she looks great. Oh my gosh, he is being so amazing. I'm gonna cry.
When I get emotional, I'm just proud of him.
I am such a good boy, but no more surgeries.
I hope there will be no more surgeries.
His mannerisms, I don't know why, but I think he's so funny. He's not trying to be funny, he's just hilarious to watch. Moving on. We are with Dumb and Dumber at the wedding venue doing a food tasting. Lucky for us, the parents are joining them. Oh joy.
It's very common for parents in Indonesia to be completely controlling the entire wedding.
I don't think we knew that. We knew that the parents want the wedding to be like insanely awesome and that James has to pay for it. I think it's strange that the parents would be in charge, in control of the wedding if they're not paying for it. So she puts out the plates of food and Mom asks, what kind of chicken is this? And she tells them that if they want the other kind of chicken, it will cost more. And Tata immediately says, if it's extra, they don't want it.
Nggak usah lah. Baiknya memang ada 2 jenis, nanti orang kan dah.
I would also be having a fit. It just doesn't make any sense. They told the parents that they had debt, they were struggling. I just can't imagine the parents would be this irresponsible unless later they come out and they go, surprise, we're gonna pay for everything.
I have like 3,000 family just from my dad's side.
And Dad wants everyone to come. How? Where are you gonna find a place that seats that many people that's not like a huge stadium? James and Tata are saying that the chicken is great, they love it, and Dad keeps putting it down. James starts choking on the chili paste, which puts her parents in a great mood. So he turns to Tata and says, hey, would this be a good time for us to talk about not having kids? At first I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the worst time for you guys to be talking about this. But then we find out, because I missed the last couple episodes, that Tata told him they have to have this discussion.
Why asking me? Ask yourself.
What do you mean ask yourself? You're the one who told him to tell them. Gosh, these two are like the worst communicators on the show. But he spits it out, which was weird because he's speaking to them in broken English and they don't know any English. So regardless of what he was gonna say, they weren't gonna understand it, and Tata was just gonna have to be the one to tell them.
Suami punya istri kan nomor 1 didambakan kan keturunan.
Then Tata turns to him and says, yeah, they still want us to have kids. Actually, she just says a kid. It's always a kid. She never says a baby, a child, I want to be a mother. I want to have a kid. I'm sorry, it just drives me crazy. I don't know why. He's like, okay, I know they do. Okay, I know. But what if I don't?
Himnya yang gak mau punya anak gimana?
Itu nanti tidak punya.
Maybe it's okay not to have a legacy. Mom tells her a marriage without children is empty, which I disagree with. I don't think that's very fair. I had the impression that they were saying anything to just pull at Tata's heartstrings and get her crying to make James feel really guilty and then just give in.
Do you feel it's a selfish way of thinking?
I thought that was a great question. I was very surprised. Mom's like, I don't know how to answer that, but I do know that you should have a kid. He tells them when he is financially stable, it will likely change the way that he feels, which is smart. I mean, you can still be an incredible parent and raise happy kids in poverty, but if you have the ability to try and prevent potential hardships, I don't blame him for wanting to do that. James says that he's relieved they're responding so well, but he's also aware that in this culture, you're not expected to display publicly any anger or sadness. You're just supposed to put on a front like everything is going great in your family, your life is wonderful.
They don't want foreigners or outsiders to see any inner turmoil in a family.
James says he knows the parents aren't happy, and this topic will keep being brought up over and over until he eventually gives in.
I can't see it changing.
Oh, bummer. Moving on. We're with this stinky pair of fish tacos. They've been traveling across Europe for the past several weeks, and today is Statler's last day before she starts working in the van. And then I don't know what happens. There is no transition scene. There's nothing. Just all of a sudden, it's the next day, and she's trying to connect to the internet so she can start working. It shows them parked in the middle of France, outside of these mountains. They're surrounded by mountains. And I'm like, yeah, of course you don't have a connection. Hello?
So we need to go find internet. Nothing's working. Yeah, this has definitely been my biggest fear.
Statler is so insanely beautiful. Oh my gosh, her eyes. And if Dempsey knew that she had to work, why did she park them in the middle of the mountains? This isn't new. Everyone knows that you lose service in the wood. She's telling Dempsey they need to get going, and it looks like Dempsey is doing anything to look busy. She tells her, I will get fired. We need to fix this now.
She's stressing about work already rather than coming up with a solution.
She told you, get moving, get driving, eat while you drive, just go, go, go. Finally, Dempsey's like, oh, well, I guess we should get moving, huh? And within a few minutes, they find a place with a better connection. Statler is trying to get her little like Wi-Fi booster thing plugged in, and Dempsey's like, no, it won't fit. Statler tells her, I was expecting these things to already be in the van so that I could work, so could you please go into town and get these items so I can do my freaking job? And Dempsey's just reading a book, ignoring her.
It's an adapter to plug in her monitor for her laptop.
Okay, so prior to taking off on this trip, Statler had told Dempsey, these are the things I'm going to need in the van so that I can do my job. And it would make sense that she asked her to get all of this together because she was flying from a whole nother country. She couldn't pack all of this stuff and bring it. So Dempsey is the one who dropped the ball, and now Dempsey is upset with Statler. Statler's like, we already had an agreement how this would go.
I would work and bring in the money, and she would kind of be like a van wife.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but if you're the stay-at-home spouse, you should be prepared to help them however you can, especially if you don't have kids. She's trying to focus on performing in her job. Okay, put your stupid book down for 2 seconds. Finally, Dempsey gets herself together and takes off to go into town to get Statler's supplies.
Since she can work without it, I'm not in a rush to get back.
Statler is working online. The internet needs to be smooth. Dempsey, come on. I thought that you were like the good guy. Maybe all that ranting and raving from Statler was true after all. Dempsey takes off into town on a bicycle, and before she does any shopping, she takes a lift up a mountain.
Whether Statler's working or not, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of sucks that Statler couldn't be with me, but that's okay because I'm here and it's awesome. Dempsey has been gone for hours, and Statler is telling us that she wishes they could switch roles because right now she is miserable. Dude, I couldn't even imagine having to spend my life in that van and having to work from the weird bench with no table in front of you. It's not practical.
I can't help but feel like I'm being used.
Yeah, sadly it is starting to look that way. Dempsey finally returns. The sun is starting to set. Thankfully, the adapter fits, so Statler is relieved. Dempsey tells her that her ride into town was really nice and she would like to go there tomorrow. Statler reveals to her that her current work schedule, in order to make up for all the hours missed, she has to work 30 days straight.
We're going to all of these beautiful places, but I'm not getting to enjoy them or see them.
If I knew it was temporary, I could hunker down and power through for a month because I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But she learned on day one that she can't be working from anywhere. Every day, they will have to find a spot to park and sit there and wait until she's done.
It's just kind of all like hitting me like, What am I doing?
Dempsey sits down next to her looking very sad. I think this is the first time I've ever seen her this upset. Statler doesn't seem to mind at all that she went off and took her own little adventure and went up the mountain without her. She's trying to comfort her.
I'm used to living on my own and living freely, and
Dempsey is sad because she's realizing she has to take someone else's feelings into account and she can't do whatever she wants whenever she wants to anymore. Boo-hoo, Dempsey.
I thought that I had a partner in this, but I'm actually feeling quite alone.
What? You've just bailed on Statler for hours. You left her isolated in this little van with crappy internet. Ugh. Yet Statler says, hey, let me clean everything up. Let's go straight to the campsite so that you can sleep. I was impressed with Statler in this one because up until now, she kind of came across as like a vampire or like a dementor that just like sucks the happiness out of you.
I'm wondering if she's also thinking that maybe our relationship won't survive.
And it didn't. Moving on. We are with Josh and Lily. This is what I was waiting for. Josh is getting ready to take his brother shopping for the day while Lily catches up with her daughter, Vivian. Josh tells us that at one point they had a pretty big falling out and Vivian didn't like him, but they all talked together, so he is hoping that she feels better about him now.
Oh my god. 对，不止8个月我就觉得
She has a dog named Rolex. That is so cute. Lily tells us that she doesn't think of her daughter, but as her best friend. And whenever there is something bothering her, she confides in her daughter. That is a no-no.
现在没有稳定的工作，赵是在家里会帮我妈去分担一些家务什么。
She says he takes everything for granted. Lily takes her into the TV room and her daughter asks her what's in that box. She tells her it's a projector, but she hasn't had time to get it installed yet. And Vivian looks at her like, are you freaking kidding me? What does he do all day?
劝你也不会听，我之前也不是没劝过你。
Don't you remember the Vietnamese woman? Yeah, but he's already apologized to me for that. And the daughter's reaction, oh my gosh, it was so good.
向我道歉了。
She tells us that at one point, Josh had changed his online profile picture to this woman. He told Lily that the girl was one of his old friends and she died, when really it was his girlfriend at the time. And at that time, he was still apparently dating Lily?
不想孤独嘛，因为他很怕孤独。
他怕孤独。
I don't blame Vivian for being so upset. These are the lamest excuses ever. But aren't these two already legally married in America? It's not like she can just walk away. She tells her daughter they are already married, so at this point, all she can hope for is that they can live together happily.
我现在有一些担心家世和微远的相处关系。
So it's later that day, mom and daughter are at the restaurant, they're both nervous, and then Josh walks in with his brother and some bags of goodies he bought at the mall. She asked Josh if this is his first time in China, and he says it is, and he loves it. He's so happy that he came.
You love here or love my mom?
I love your mom, of course.
She is bold. His brother immediately steps in as the mediator, and he says to her, do you feel better about Josh now, or do you still have questions? And she's like, I got questions. Tell me about the woman from Vietnam. And he tells her very calmly that the two of them were always fighting and breaking up, so he started dating. And she's like, yeah, but you lied and said that she died.
Well, she was dead to me. Not.
You can't just say that she's dead. Nobody would know what you meant by that. I don't trust Josh here. At first, I didn't like Lily, and we don't see a lot of these two, but the more we do see, the less I like Josh. One time I was watching Lauren's live stream, and Josh was one of the very few people in the chats, and they appeared to be pretty close buddies.
I do regret that. That was wrong, but just wanted to move past that moment.
I guess I get what he's saying, but why did you have to say that she died? The daughter keeps pushing Josh and questioning him. She's trying to get clarity on the story. And then he says that Lily was also dating another American man at the same time. And she says, no, I wasn't. I deleted you before I started talking to anybody else. And he's like, yeah, well, once we started talking, you kept chatting with him. And she's like, no, I didn't. He is lying. Josh said he found a whole mess of romantic messages in her chat. And she's like, I don't delete that stuff. This is my life. It's like a diary, and I'm a romantic person. I'm not gonna delete that. That's a red flag with Lily. I don't care how romantic your personality is. If you're in a committed relationship with someone, you can't have all that stuff laying around for you to look at. Especially if your partner is uncomfortable with it. A lot of people don't care, but if your partner cares, it's fair.
我们永远不会那种像他一样同时去约会啊，那是太可怕的一件事情。
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that she is divulging all this information to her daughter while also hoping that someday these two will get along. If this girl didn't hate him before, she does now.
I think you are so terrible.
I couldn't believe that she said that within the restaurant in front of everybody. He's like, I told you your daughter was gonna try and ruin our relationship.
You're redirecting this. Vivian is the one who asked the question.
Dang, his brother is a freaking stud. I didn't like him in the last episode. I was like, oh, he's sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. But clearly he needs to because Josh is an idiot. Josh is like, well, I don't care about having a relationship with Vivian. I don't care if she hates me. I just want to have a good relationship with my wife. And his brother's like, dude, this is your wife's daughter. You should want to have a relationship with her.
You're disagreeing with everybody at this table.
Well, that's the way it is.
Lily chose the wrong brother. He's trying to really press Josh that just because he feels this way doesn't mean he's right. But man, oh man, I did not realize that Josh had an ego like this.
I don't give a crap about what anybody else is saying right now. What about us?
Lily tells him that their wedding is in 2 days and they both need to think if they actually want to do this. Then it cuts to her private interview and she tells us that right now she is leaning towards not getting married. In the next episode, crap will hit all the fans. Tata's sister comes after James, Joanne's mother comes after Sean, Lily says again that she is ready to call off the wedding, and Corona finds out that Inky was cheating on her?
Were you?
And that was it. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and thank you to all of my incredible members and coffee buyers supporting this channel. I love you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye! What is burning? Is my dryer gonna get on fire? Is that my heater? That's the heater. Why does it smell like that? Oh, no, turn it off. Ew, dude. That's disgusting.